it's Alfie here from at We Light Beans and at figure.8.energy on Instagram. And I've been thinking about a conversation that I had with somebody. Oftentimes, I can be very particular. And I'm very particular because I live a life of intention. I feel that there's a lot of power behind that because it's recognizing that your energy has a direct impact on your daily being, right? And so I try to be as conscious of where my energy is going and what choices I am making so that I can live a very intentional life and feel like my energy is nothing, just that my energy, like it just feels good to be because I'm making sure that my energy is flowing in a way that feels good, right? And so because I have very particular way of being, sometimes people will ask me questions about like why I'm particular about certain things. And a lot of things I'm particular about have like scientific reasons or they have historical reasons behind them. Other times, some of my choices will have reasons that do not have a scientific basis behind them. Just because what is science but a hypothesis and a bunch of people doing experiments to prove the theory to be true or false, right? And with enough experiments, then you get your answer. And a lot of the times I'm also getting people asking me like, well, how do you know this stuff, right? Like the things I say, like they'll make sense. I can put everything together. And you know, the brain has its function, right? The brain is like this this mechanism of sorts, and it's like powering it is powering your ability to access the mind. And the mind is absolutely incredible, right? It's not a physical thing at all, yet it is so powerful. And the mind takes like the information that is being stored in the brain from whatever we're absorbing, and we absorb things from so many different outlets and avenues, and sometimes we can remember where it comes from and other times we can't. And that's where like downloading codes from source also comes into play as well, right? Like our mind is taking this information and we're using this information to apply it to our life. So whether it's things that we're processing and it's helping us with that, or it's things that we need to do going forward. And one of the big mantras that I have been incorporating into my being over these past few days is to think evolutionary, not revolutionary. And the big difference between evolutionary and revolutionary is like revolutionary feels very combative and just like you're standing up for like what you believe is to be just or to be fair. And it has a lot to do with like competition and opposing parties and resistance, whereas evolutionary is that higher perspective and looking at like, okay, what's the best outcome for all, right? And so I've applied this to some of the more challenging aspects of the 3D, where I see the natural inclination to be competitive and to be revolutionary and be like, this is right and this is just, and the higher aspect that's like, well, you know what, it's time for us to evolve, and we can get caught in this this game, or we can choose to do something different. And it only takes one person to choose to do something different, because there is not a fight if both parties aren't willing to battle, right? Like, somebody could want to engage in something and they're expecting a certain result, but if you just like don't play the game, then it confuses them, right? And it forces them to evolve as well, because they're not used to not getting any feedback in that way. Just a moment. I am setting up a remote program right now. Whenever people come and do biofeedbacks and like we create programs for them, I have a schedule per person, and so this person's starts, I like to do it overnight. And yeah, so just gonna do this really quick. Oh, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Beep, 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 beep. Here's my cute little spooky and my makeshift counter space. There we go. Oh no. Did I? I totally already put it in there. I keep my DNA samples in this box, and I was running it yesterday, so I guess I just left it in there. Go ahead and start this. Okay. Well, yeah. Cool, spooky. That's the remote. These are TENS pads for like direct connection. And let's see. I'm gonna cover this person's name, but there's like different codes for the frequencies. Let me see if I can show you. I'm gonna show you something really cool. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna show you something really cool, because I can't access the extra programs while I have some things going. But it's okay. I'll show you guys another time. Let's relocate over here. So, with the conversation I was having, right, when somebody was asking me why I have a certain preference, and I told them it was one, based off of biology and what I know about herbs and how like this particular herb crosses the blood-brain barrier, and so like because it's getting right into the blood, it's excellent. Like, I'm just gonna tell y'all, garlic and onions are excellent for fighting with your immune system, right? Because it's gonna go in, and the onion is going to like pull out everything, toxins, bacteria, whatever invaders that you might be having. That's why people will like put it in their socks whenever they're have some sort of illness, because it'll like pull from your feet. And then like garlic, you know, it's known to be antibacterial as well, so like when it's in the blood, like that is what it's doing. And so because the blood's going through your whole body, it's like one of those really great things for healing. So I'll use alliums in the healing sense, but I'm not gonna have them on my daily basis. If I do have garlic and onion, it's like a special occasion. And typically I'm not doing it because I'm not trying to kill any extra things in my my blood, because I do believe that there are good bacteria. You know, there are good things that are happening in my body, and I want my body to be as optimal as possible. If I have garlic and onions, it's not gonna, you know, completely stunt my ability to be healthy. But the spiritual side of it is like, okay, and guess what else is, if this is going into the blood that's in my brain, I have my my receptor sites up here, right? And I'm having codes come in. Like, I want to be able to receive all those codes, and for those codes to like go into my blood and get into like all these little cells and like activate each cell and have the codes go through that way. And if I have something that's gonna be like combating that, like, I'm still gonna get the codes. This is like part of their argument, is like it's very disempowering to say that you're not gonna receive codes because like source, if they want to get a message to you, like the message to you. And like, yeah, absolutely. But if it helps with my coherence and receiving these codes, like, I'm gonna do it. And like, what science evidence do I have to base off of this spiritual aspect? Nothing. And where did this thought come from? My mind. And where did my mind get that from? I don't know. But it's something I'm experimenting on myself, and so far I don't see it harming me in any way. And also, it doesn't harm anybody else. And so typically whenever there's people trying to combat the way I do things, it's sometimes I don't have the energy for it, because it's really not affecting anybody at all. Like, my dietary choices don't affect anybody unless they're trying to like make me food. And then it's just like, well, you're vegan and you like organics and you don't like artificial colors or flavors or preservatives and you're particular about this. And it's just like, yes, I am. And that's why I like to make my own food, you know? So I don't burden anybody with my particularities. And so there comes this other sense, and it was along the lines of my defiance being frightening, right? And you know, I asked them to explain, you know, to elaborate a little bit, because that word has like a negative connotation to it. And they were like, yeah, it does have a negative connotation to it. And they wanted to think about their response before they responded, because they said it's not necessarily a negative thing. And they never responded about it, which, you know, it is fine for me, because I didn't want to have to get combative with my sense of being defiant, because I acknowledge that there is nothing more intimidating than a person that sticks by their own beliefs and by their own moral compass and continues to plow through no matter what. And a big part of it was because I was very much along the lines of like, you know, like, this is just how I am, and I'm not interested in shifting my perspective on this. Like, I'm not. And I was having a conversation earlier today about somebody who a few years ago, they were in the same stance. She was telling me that, you know, like, she was in the wrong about something, but she told the person that like she's not ready to change. And I think that's beautiful. And it's beautiful because we're constantly analyzing the way that we are being, right? When you become aware of certain things, and then you're around other individuals who like will make you aware of more things, like, there's this compelling aspect to it that's like, okay, this is highlighted now, I must change, right? And then people expect you to have to keep changing and all these things. And also, it's just like, well, can I just be? Regardless of an opinion or right and wrong, or it's like, do we constantly have to be pushing each other to change, because, you know, sometimes my authentic self just wants to exist in this way. And so I was very much in the mode of like, I don't want my mind to be changed. Like, I don't see how it's going to be hurting anybody, and it's completely okay if I want to sit with this for a while. And, you know, I was talking about like being evolutionary and versus being revolutionary. And in these moments, like, I'm not being either, because evolutionary means like, you know, perhaps like changing what I'm doing, and maybe what I'm doing is a very evolutionary thing, but I won't know until I stick with it for a little bit longer and gather more evidence for myself. And as far as being revolutionary, like, I'm not putting any energy behind this to affect other people, to make other people have whatever a thought, opinion about this. I'm not trying to change anybody else. I'm not telling anybody like this is the right way or the wrong way. I'm just saying like, this is what I'm doing for myself. And, you know, and in this age of where there has to be a reason for everything, it can be a lot of pressure. And I'm just gonna say it again, it's winter time. Like, just chill. Like, I just want to chill. I don't want to debate about anything. Like, just let me be for a little bit. Because a lot of those conversations even will put us into a state where we're thinking about other things and talking about other things and putting ourselves in energy of other things. And whenever we have certain energies in our vortex, then like, we are unconsciously manifesting, right? And so I'm not ready for another change. Like, spring's gonna be here soon enough. Summer's gonna be here soon enough. Like, I just want a little bit of a break. And so it's like, it's really important to be able to just like sit with things that are peaceful, so you're not manifesting things and changes into your life that you're just not ready for. Yeah. Even with like conversations that we're having, and sometimes you just don't have to have conversations. There's moments, I'm a Gemini, right? And I have a Libra moon. And my rising is Leo, so there's lots of social aspect and all of that. And then there's these times where I'm just like, I'm socialized out, you know, especially with all the stuff I did last week. And I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to look at anybody. Like, even a simple greeting, I was just like, I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna stay inside. I'm gonna have this thing delivered to me, and then ask him just like put it on the door. Sorry, friend. I'm not open to interactions today, because it's all energy exchange too. Anyways. So just some rambles. I'm gonna pull some cards and close out and start working on some stuff. I've been really enjoying all of these holistic consultations, you know, being able to pull information from a lot of my different studies, and, you know, the history that I have with like herbalism and spirituality and like healing work and energy medicine, and just like all the various studies that I've done, and applications that I've had on myself, and even interactions I've had with other people, and done things in small amounts. And so I just like, I get into this like flow state, and I have one more to go over tonight, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull some cards for our collective to see if there's any other message that I should really be sharing. I feel like this video was just like a bit of me talking about whatever is going on in my mind, and I hope that it resonated with some of y'all and that there was some information that was of value. As I really didn't know what I was going to speak about whenever I came on here. I felt compelled to do a video and just to talk. Okay. So we have, a few different cards. Okay. So right now, I'm seeing that there's a moment of pause, right? Like, there's some things that still need to be worked out. And in this moment of pause, it's really important right now because there is an Ace of Cups in the future, right? So this limbo period is kind of crucial to us getting towards that Ace of Cups. So it's mainly about surrendering to the process and trusting that during this period of limbo, it's for our highest good. So, putting your faith in the divine. And with putting your faith in the divine, you'll be guided towards where your energy needs to go in order to get that Ace of Cups. And I'm also seeing like there being a union as well, actually more than that. There's divine sacred union, right? And the intertwining of energies, the merging, coming together. And there's also this right here, the Three of Cups, and like this feels very much just like community. So like there's divine union, there's community, and all of these things are coming together. Like that's what this Ace of Cups is. That's what the overflowing of energy is. And so all of that energy is going into this Ace of Cups and will overflow and guide you towards the community, the sacred union. But right now, it's like, this is where we are. We're reversed hanged man. So in this limbo period, and then we have our teachers, we have our guides, we have our ancestors, we have the divine that's working with us. So like really just trust in that, follow the guidance that you're receiving, and trust that when the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. You will know exactly where to put all of your wands, where to put all that energy, and it will get you the exact outcome that is meant to be. And what's meant to be seems like something really, really beautiful, something that you've been waiting for a while. So I love that. I'm gonna pull an instant insight card and then say farewell. Farewell for now.
I'm also feeling gratitude for the new subscribers. You know, I'm still very like fresh on YouTube. So it's nice to have new subscribers and new followers on my Instagram accounts, and you know the messages that I've been receiving, and the communities that have been coming together. This is one of the reasons why I love technology so much. Like it brings so many people that are in the same wave together, and you know that feels like home. That feels like community. Insight. Life is our opportunity to grow and learn to love unconditionally. Allow yourself to experience loving growth today. Affirmation. I am loving, I am loved, and I am love. I feel like this plays really big into the being evolutionary instead of revolutionary. Because when you come from a loving standpoint, you're doing literally what's the highest intent for all right there. So like you're being loving and you're feeling the love from the divine. You're just like expecting it, because like why else? Like if you are just straight up love, you know. So remember that, y'all. You're loved, you're loving, you are loved. Bye bye.